Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnice Nicole and I'm an acrylic painter. I'm finally catching up on videos. You'll see over the last couple of weeks, months, I've been posting some back footage from over the first half of 2023. Just in a nutshell, this has not been my year. It has not been my creative year. It has not been my artistic year. It has not been my painting year. But it has been my sketchbook year. Because not only did I finish this book completely, I then went back and was so attached to the sketchbook that I went back and started filling in the back sides of pages and doing more and more and more art. And it got to the point where I put this down in a way because I tried to separate myself from the sketchbook because I was so attached to just strictly working in a sketchbook, but not wanting to move past it, not wanting to start a new sketchbook or a new painting. And again, it's the art slump of 2023 that's come back for revenge. I'm not sure why I kind of fixated on just working in the sketchbook, but this is a sketchbook that I've had since, I think the first thing I did here was May of, no, this is 12/18/20. So this was the tail end of 2020 that I worked in this sketchbook, which is crazy for me. So I've had this sketchbook almost 3 full years. And I can see the change that's happened in my work. I can see that from the first sketch to the last sketch, the concepts have changed, the things I'm interested in, and the color palettes have tweaked. You know, the line work has changed. A lot of things have happened in the sketchbook. And so I'm really proud of it because, one, I've never really kept up diligently with the sketchbook. Just never. It's not my thing. I have ADHD for one, and for two, I'm just like a very chaotic creative. As I'm sure if you watch this channel, you know, sometimes I like to paint like really strictly, but definitely not this year and definitely not while in the art slump. So the fact that I kept and maintained the sketchbook, and I worked more in the sketchbook in the last 6 months than I have in a sketchbook ever in my full art career journey, like that says a lot to me. And so this has a lot of fun paintings. It has a lot of fun ideas, and some of these turned into like full scale like projects, but like a lot of them are just the sketchbook page. So here it is, finally, my sketchbook tour. I finished this at the tail end of August, but this started at the late stages of 2020. I think I started this in December, as I mentioned earlier. And so it's gone through a lot for 3 years, basically, in a sketchbook. Like, it's still good. Like, there's not a lot of pages falling out. There was 50 pages total, although some got ripped out because, you know, that happens. And then there are combinations of gouache paintings, sketches, markers, colored pencils, acrylic paint, gold leaf. There's so many things in the sketchbook, so I highly recommend. This is the Mixed Media Canson sketchbook. So this is the first piece that I did. This was done with a combination of watercolor pencils and then some gouache overlaying. And here it is. You can see that. So this is the page. This was a girl, and as you can see, like, my hands, my feet are still not as developed as they should be, but it was a scene in front of a waterfall. I don't know what made me think about this, and she's wearing a little leaf skirt, so like, fun, cool. But I got better with like my proportions and my drawing because this arm just right off the gate is very, very long, but it's cool. This is a combination of everything. I distinctly remember I used some of my Tombow markers, which I love. I have so many Tombow markers. These are my favorite water-based markers ever. So I have those. I have some gouache in here, some colored pencils, just sketching out a scene. I'm not really happy with the face, but this is one of those like type of lunchtime sketches that I would do. Skipping forward, here is something that I did for mermaid. So when I say I wasn't really a sketchbook girly before this year, I really wasn't. I would go months without ever picking up a sketchbook. This was done 5/4/21. Yeah, so for mermaid. And this is a mermaid sunbathing. I really do like it. This was the first time I was using the matte golden acrylics, which I still really like, but yeah, this is that. And then another mermaid that I don't think was as successful, done a few days later, and it was just a quick one. I would often paint these during my lunch breaks. And so I would have maybe 20 minutes to do something really quick and chaotic and fast. I like the idea of like a mermaid sipping tea, just playing with some junk and just enjoying the sea. Like, how would a mermaid just relax? So we have that. This is another lunchtime sketch, and most of the first few of these will be more just quick sketches versus full concepts. But this was done. First I did the background and then I color penciled on top of it. I like the muted tone, but I wish I had really played with the highlights. And then this piece I did, I'm not sure the date, but it was for an Art Snacks. I had just been getting those Art Snack boxes. I really liked Art Snacks because you got so many cool things. And so I had the fine liner that I used in this. And I can't tell you what the brand is, but I really like this piece. I like the colors that I use. And I like the scene. This is when I started painting full scenes. Like, my whole vibe for painting is like painting a magical moment and like capturing a moment in time. And so these more domestic scenes, you at home, you on the couch, you having a glass of wine, I really like those. And so still my very style. I really like the layering that I started to get with the color pencils on top. I was never really a color pencil girly, but eventually I just kind of fell hard into the texture it gives on top of your work. So this one I love. There's a theme throughout where I paint vices, so like smoking, lots of drinking. I don't know why, but it's something that happens a lot. And so I painted this. This is still 2021. So I have this painting, and then right after that I painted this, which is like a den of smoke and alcohol. And I really like this one because of the space that I was able to get from it. Like, this is really great spacing, I think, and it tells a full story, but the faces are a struggle. Like, can you see those? I'm not a fan, but I also like the color palette. I don't like the walls, but everything else I very much appreciate. So we have that. And now back here, this is when it was snowing. This is December of 2021. I can see the date in the corner. So yeah, in between like the May posts, we somehow got to 2021. And this is actually the first time I used the gouache from the Mia kit that I have, because I got it for a graduation gift and I really liked it. And again, I did those colored pencils on top. Another gouache painting, not my favorite. The figure is and I was playing with the concept of spotlights. Another gouache, acrylic gouache from the Mia gouache set. I like the colors on this, but I don't like how muddy I got her face. And that was probably just because of all the layering I was doing. And as you can see here, I'm painting more rooms. This is something I painted over. So originally there was a woman here, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. And so I used the gouache to paint over top of it. I don't even know what I was going for, but like Frankenstein's wife meets fairy meets field of flowers. That's what we're gonna go with. Okay, cool. This concept I really love. I did it again, we are still in December apparently, because this is 12/23. This is dated, but I am an Aquarius, And a lot of times you see the Aquarius zodiac motif with them pouring water into something. And so I really like this concept with her pouring out the water of the world and the rain dripping. And I have this idea of doing a zodiac series. Eventually, I haven't gotten there yet. I was playing with my line work and stuff, and the shapes and the shadings, but this was a quicker piece from 12/23/21. And this piece I did on 12/30/21. This was actually right after I watched Coco for the first time, and I was really inspired by all of the colors in that movie. I love Disney's color design so much, and how that concept became this concept, don't ask me, I don't know. But she is playing with a pinwheel. There's exotic birds, and this was on 12/30/21, and so here is the full thing. Now this is a fun, because I went here originally, and again, my Vice paintings, she's smoking, there's fire, she's laid back, she has her smoke bubbles and sort of thing. And then right alongside of it on this side, I actually painted myself painting a painting. I was being very conceptual, which I revisit this later on in the sketchbook, but I love this concept because the artist's story and the artist's journey really inspires me. And so I was like, oh, this is great. And so side by side, these two really, really go hand in hand. Let me zoom out. Yeah. Side by side, these two paintings are so like vastly opposite, but I really, really enjoyed this. This was just a quick sketch. I think I had 15 minutes on my lunch break, and I love Vespas. I want to own a Vespa one day, and so we have this. And then alongside it, again, more quick sketches because I didn't have a lot of time. I always would spend like 10-15 minutes just doing sketches, and it would sometimes be cool. This is another quick one where I just did a messy sketch. I don't like it. I was gonna point out something specific, but like the whole thing, I don't really like it, but it's fine. It's a sketchbook, it's okay. And then I hadn't done any kind of forest type of art in a long time. Here is a newer forest sketch that I was playing around with the concepts. I was thinking of turning it into like really creepy with maybe some figures in the back, but I never really took it further than this point. I'm not sure that I would do anything with it now. I think this is just something that's going to end up living in the sketchbook, but okay, these both have stories to them. So firstly, this painting was like a selfie. I love the concept of painting a series of women taking their own selfies and what that would look like realistically, but I haven't really ironed out that concept at all. I love this one. She's playing with her hair. She has her camera phone, but I don't think it's something I want to do with now. I also really like the ideas of pictures in frames, so I was going to do a whole series of different picture frames in homes, on desks, and what the images in the picture frames would be. And so if I did a bunch of mirror selfies, it would be along the same vibe. So it's a concept I still need to play with, but I don't know. And then this painting, if you see all the way at the top, there's like a little boulder at the top of the hill, and there are birds here and her hair trying to pull her away. And I was going to make this into a full concept painting. However, when I went to go sit down and paint this on the canvas, it just didn't translate. I don't know if it was the size canvas that I had, because I went with a more rectangle shape. I don't know, but the hill ended up looking squished together. The character just didn't come out the same, and I really like this version of it, but I just didn't like what I made for the canvas piece, and so it just ended up being a little useless to me. And so this will just live forever in the sketchbook. I don't think I'm going to do more with it. I don't think I'm going to finish that piece at all. It's just going to go in the painting graveyard. So This piece, I'm not sure if you can see because this is a sketch. I did a lot of just regular sketches here, so I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a guy and he's throwing his keyboard away. And this is when I still worked in customer service, kind of. And I was just over it. I had a long work day and I had 15 minutes like regular phone break, and I sketched this out because I was so frustrated. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but yeah, he's fed up. But this piece is actually something recently I've done that I really want to play around with. So this was done in August, a couple of weeks ago, after I had officially finished this sketchbook. And it was this car piece. I like the colors, I like the concept. I actually painted a car, which I've never really done before, and it came out great. So this is that piece. And we are barely even halfway done, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. This is a newer piece as well. I went back and added this in. This was done 8/6/23. I like the shape, but I think the neck is long, and I still struggle with proportions, so I need to work on that. While this piece over here was done really early on in 2022, and it's more a fantasy piece. And we have this, which was done another fantasy piece. I love fantasy reads, fantasy books, and I love to depict Black people in cool, fun fantasy settings. So this is royal and medieval, and she has her fun bird. So I like to do that sometimes. Another quick sketch. If you can see these like little face sketches. I'm still not a great face or like sketcher of body proportions, but they're very expressive even though they're not realistically detailed. So there's that. This was an Art Snacks box. I used my markers, Tombow markers for this, so this was fun. Oh, these two. These are great. Let me zoom you in. So I did an exchange, and there's a video with this, of art supplies with Zaya Ashley from YouTube. And so I used and tested out the products here, did something really abstract. And then over here, this piece is all cutouts and stuff, like all little cutouts of a scene that I had on my bullet journal that I made, that I cut out and just added to my sketchbook because I was so happy with it. And so little French things, because that was the theme for that bullet journal page. I want to go to France one day, and so I absolutely adore this. Definitely could use some work, and I want to redo it again, but for a page, it's very nice. Some painting ideas that I had for a rooftop piece, and I was going to theme it around Blue Monday, which is a London, UK holiday. It's supposed to be the saddest day of the year, and it's called Blue Monday. So I just kind of posted up some ideas of how I would do this. While on this side, I played with some abstraction, some gold leaf, and just played around with some colors. I need to do that more. I love abstract pieces, but I just don't do them enough in my own journey. In that same bullet journal, I took out the cover page, which was my 2022 page, which was themed about royalty and fantasy and lights, because clearly I love royalty and fantasy and all of those things. And then more magic stuff, which was really fun to do. Pencil sketch of a concept, a painting concept that I'm pretty sure you guys can't see. So I'm just gonna move along. And then another abstract. This came about of me actually just pouring leftover acrylic ink on the page and just spreading it out, and then going back in and seeing what I could turn it into. And I turned it into some loose ballerina work, essentially. I love to play with movement. I love like entertainment spaces and hobbies, so opera, ballet, movies, cabaret, those kind of things all inspire me to create. And then I did these two ladies first, and then I added this third girl and gave her a little circus theme. So you can see her here. So I think this might be one of my favorite pages so far. And then I started to play with shadow figures. If you've been on my page before, you'll know that I have this concept that I've done. It was in my black opera painting. And so I've been playing with the idea of shadow figures. And this is kind of like also my part of my murdery art series. So like there's ghosts, they're captured. We have a maid who's sweeping up glass. There's eyeballs. This is like fun concept, and it makes me sometimes wish that I could write. Write like in novels, because I would have such fun building on some of these concepts, or maybe I can have someone write them. This is covering up a page that a family friend's son got a hold of my sketchbook and went very much ham, and so I covered it up because it was just a mess, really. And then this was something that I added last stage, a quick birthday piece right here. This concept, I can just imagine that the little kid in the back is like, hey, there's food's done, hurry up. And this girl's just on her phone making her plans. And they're trapped on this island, and it's like, come on, you're on a cell phone right now? Really? So that was fun to do. On the one hand, we have girl capturing snakes, goal thing concept that I have right here. And then we also have this girl singing Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. That's what I imagine. I play around with the concept of being in the spotlight, and so I really do appreciate this piece right here. More concepts with the ghosts and the blobs. This one, she's wrangling the troops in, getting them to behave. This piece was fun. I had watched some kind of Netflix series. What was it called? Kaleidoscope. This inspired the heist theme painting that this is now. And so I really love this concept. Well, separately, if you can see that this is just a sketch of two young ladies with an umbrella, but I sketched it completely in color pencils. Both of these concepts were things that I did around the time I did that orchestra piece, which is here. And so when I was having a hard time like playing with the arms and dimensions, I went ahead and just practiced on this page. And then further, I was like, do I want to add audience members? And so I played around with what an audience member could look like. I ended up keeping it like you saw in this clip, the ghost, but we have that. Two other pieces, just quick pieces that I did. One with the cello, and then one with a girl laying across the floor. Oh, this I did very proudly to do a concept of the kind of COVID and the new way of life of like going out for activities. Like she has her mask on, she has her mask on. They're out in the park doing yoga but still having a good time. I very much love this piece right here. And I really like the color palette and like the character dimensions. Like I love that separation between them and the space that they're in. And this is something I could see being a full-time piece, but I don't know. And then this is fun. You know that meme where it was like all the people in Florida preparing for a hurricane, but all they're doing is grabbing a bunch of wine. So this was my rendition of them going out to buy a bunch of wine. Not much to say here. Quick piece. This one was a quick sketch with a girl in the bathtub. Concept was, hold on, I'm overthinking. And then a lot of pieces are just like this, like forest pieces, lonely girl. This has a shadow figure in the back if you can see him. And then this full concept is like the paparazzi coming in. All gouache. Oh, these are fun. These are two pencil sketches. Again, based on a heist. Like she's in here, and I want to do an all black and white painting, but with like just one highlight color, like maybe the red. Like she's captured in the spotlight. Or this guy here, where the background is the colorful thing about him, but he's just sitting here. These are fun. These are when I started to do master sketches. So I did this one, and I really love how this came out. I did these two colorful sketches. more master sketches here. And I think trying to draw them in my style has really helped improve my art and helped me really see concepts and colors more. This one wasn't the best as a comparison, but I think I still did a good job. Over here are some sketches you probably won't be able to see, but this one is the one I did for Sergeant. And this is my favorite so far because this is such a me pose and painting. And I really feel like I brought it into my own style here. So we have this one. Two quick paintings of a girl and some balloons. And then a movie theater piece. I did this movie theater piece here so you can see where the concept came from. But it originated in this sketchbook. This is a page of just random sketches that I did. This one I'll show you, but it's not the best, and which is why it's covered up. And then this is the Piano Man. I was thinking of doing a series of men and instruments because I really like this really small section here in my black opera painting. And so I've been playing around with that concept of not just the women who are in the arts, but the men who are alongside them. So I might do something with that. This is another audience painting idea that I haven't done anything with, but it's there. Wow, this side is a man who is helping a bride out, you know, fixing her dress. I imagine he's the person who did the dress at some point. I'm not sure, but I do like the color palette and the concept. This is when I was trying out some colors that I got from an art haul, and then I just threw in this girl here. I really like when I have like a warm tone palette and then I throw in this specific blue color for the eyes. It's a very beautiful tone, so I like that. A quick little bar scene that I did. And then when Lizzo did her Blue Monday tribute, I had to find out everything about this painting, and so I did. I looked up the original concept, I did sketches. And this is what I'm talking about when I say I do master studies, because this painting is so brilliant to me and I never knew about Annie Lee before. And so I went out and found out about Annie Lee and all of her work. And then I did sketches. And I want to do more master studies like that. We're coming close to the end, which I'm very excited about. So first we have this very dark concept. A guy playing the piano, a guy in the shadows. This is supposed to be a really big window that they're standing in front of, and it's giving a lot of shadows. And so I still have to play around with the concept, but I really like that. Then we have this, which was done May 29, 2023. Me on a golf cart having a very fun time. That was the concept. You shouldn't be drinking and driving a golf cart, but you know, whatever. And then, as I mentioned really early on, because this was a long video, I'm sure, this was the final page of my sketchbook, and this was the concept: an artist painting art. In this case, an artist painting a woman who's wrapped up in a snake. And I really like the concept. I need to do a series of paintings that focus on the artist as its own subject, painting art. So that is the sketchbook. And going back through these and thinking about these, some of my favorite pieces are like the master studies. These are some of my favorite pieces. I really love this one because this was such an out of my comfort zone. This was such a stretch for me. Like creatively, I would not have done anything like this. And learning about the history of the artist too is really like inspiring for me. So I like my pencil sketches. I really like how I played in the sketchbook so far. Like I love this concept right here in this spread specifically. And I love working in here to kind of iron out painting concepts. And so this was the sketchbook. And so hopefully now I can move successfully into a new sketchbook, maybe fingers crossed, and start this sketchbook journey again anew. And so that is this sketchbook. Technically it was completed in July of 2023, but like I kept on for another month just playing around with it, just, you know, adding additional things, just not wanting to let it go. And so I think what I got out of this sketchbook the most is that I really enjoyed the Mia gouache. I really want to buy more palettes from that, different colors. I really like it. Like, it was the one thing holding me back. I didn't have to really clean up after myself. It was ready to go. I didn't have to pick colors because they were there. So like, my proposal to you is that if you are in an art slump, get some Mia gouache. The Mia gouache. That's what I primarily used in this book. I still maintain that I absolutely love this sketchbook. I use the Canson 9x12 sketchbook all the time. Like, this is the sketchbook. I like to spread out and be chaotic as possible with my sketches. And like, this gives you the room to spread out without being like odious or anything like that. Like, this is a good size. The paper is great. I have sketches in here. I have color pencils. I have crayons. I have gouache. I have acrylic paints. I have inks. All of that goes in here. And honestly, I could have used oil in here if I would have just taken the time to gesso pages. But one, I don't like oil, and two, like, all the other things are in here, so it's fine. I even have gold leaf in here. Like, come on. Like, this is a great notebook to have, sketchbook to have. If you are going to be sketching, I highly recommend. And then the last thing I like is that I use this to do master's studies. Something I definitely want to continue to do is to use all of my art books, all of these art books, and do studies so that they can, one, inspire me, but two, help me like actually focus on perfecting my techniques, my sketching, all of that, and really see what I could come with. Because those master studies I showed you in this book, the ones that I just, you know, really focused on and kind of tried to take away elements from and then also put them in my own style, they came out great. They came out great. So anyway, this is the sketchbook tour. I hope it wasn't too long. And so anyway, my name is Nicole. I'm an acrylic painter. And I'm out. Bye.